What up, my dudes? It's Demi, and today I am back at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. I recently did a full tour of this resort, showing you every detail and telling you everything you need to know about staying here. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I will link it here and put it in the description box below. But in that video, I showed you a room tour of a standard room in the Gran Destino Tower. But what about the rest of the resort? The Gran Destino Tower opened in 2019, but the rest of the resort opened in 1997. So today I'm going to be giving you a tour of one of the rooms in the outside buildings. And on top of it, we'll be able to compare and contrast the outside building room and the room in the Gran Destino Tower. So let's get into it, let's see the room, and let's go get into some hijinks. There are 3 different neighborhoods here in Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. I went over it in much greater detail in the full tour, so go check that out. But we have the cabana section across the lake. It has the little beachfront area. Then all the way in the back is the ranchos area. And then over here, we have the Casitas area. Something to note, if you see the tower next to the tower on the right, that was the old main building, and that's where most of the dining and shopping is located, minus a few things that are in the tower. So if you're looking to be closer to that, you're going to want to stay in the Casitas section over here, which is where I stayed last night. Each section does have its own bus stop. I showed that in the full tour as well. The buildings on the outside have building numbers. They're big on there, and there's signs everywhere, but it could get a little confusing when you're trying to find your room because there are elevators here, but they're in like a little courtyard, and it's all the way in the back. And if you don't read the signs properly, you could be walking to a different building section, because when you go to the elevators, you can walk one way and it'll take you to building 1. And then if you go the other way, you can go to building 3. But we'll see that when we get a little closer. But you do have in this section, this is a little bit extra, which is really nice. You have the chess and the cornhole and shuffleboard, which isn't in any other section, and you have the beautiful lights here, and I'll show you what it looked like at night. It was really gorgeous. So to get to the elevators, come all the way into the back, and see, this is a little confusing because it says Casitas 2, which is, yeah, that's the way to Casitas 2, but this is also where the elevators are to get to your section as well. And also, this is really beautiful, and you get like a really good amount of shade because of the shape of the building, and it's nice and cool in here compared to outside. It's very relaxing. My room is on the 4th floor, so I'm taking the elevator up there. Just wanted to show you the difference in the elevators. Obviously, the Gran Destino Tower elevators are much, much nicer, but this does the job, and again, gorgeous. So make sure to follow the signs to your room. I'm in building 3 on the 4th floor, so I'm gonna be walking this way. My room is pretty close to the elevators. It's literally right after where that mousekeeping cart is. Here is the view in the daytime. I didn't do any type of room request for view or anything, but this is gorgeous. I filmed the room tour last night before I slept in it, so I'm gonna throw it back to Demi from last night to show you the room. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful here at night with the lights. I remember saying that in my full tour. I was like, when I passed this building, I said, it's probably gorgeous here at night. And man, I was right. Here is my view of my room at night. It is so beautiful with the lights on the Gran Destino Tower and the water in front of us, and you can see the 3 bridges bar. This is really, really nice. Let's head inside room 3444 in building 3 in Casitas. And here we are. Let's do a little big look at the room first, and then we're gonna get into all of the details, and we'll talk about the differences and the similarities of these rooms versus the one that I stayed in at the Gran Destino Tower. When you first walk in, this is your entryway. It's pretty small. I was able to throw my bags over there for now, but you may have a little trouble if you have a stroller. It might be blocking in the way, just so you know. It's kind of a smaller space. But then you have the beautiful windows with your curtains and your blackout curtains, and then of course that view that we saw before. We have this picture, and it's the 3 caballeros because that makes sense. We're in the Casitas neighborhood, and we have this little comfy chair here. Next, we have the dresser area. It's kind of similar to what we saw, but a little bit different. There are some similarities. For example, this chair, it looks exactly the same. This lamp was there, and it was very long, just like this, with some floating shelves. But let's look at this one. So here we have 2 shelves, and our second shelf, we have our ice bucket and some hot cups and regular cups. And right below that is our Keurig machine. Here and in the Gran Destino Tower, they do Keurig coffees, not the Joffrey, like those single packs that you get in the value resorts. Here you get the actual Keurig. So if you have a Keurig at home, you can take these home and then have Joffreys at home. Underneath that is your refrigerator. And unfortunately, it's one of these newer fridges that I've been seeing, that I've been kind of seeing in the value resorts. But I think the reason I'm seeing them in the value resorts is because they're refurbished rooms, and these are just the refrigerators that they're deciding to do now, but they're really, really small. There's no door storage, and it's kind of a downgrade. Now we have like the little desk area. We have our desk lamp. We have our leather desk chair. Here we have our big TV. Our remote is sealed, knowing that it has been cleaned. And then below that, we have the rest of the dresser. The top 2 drawers are a little bit narrower in depth, and then the 2 bottom ones are big, deep drawers. Unfortunately, this is an adjoining room. I did not request one. I didn't even know if it was possible to not request one. It's not available when you're booking, and I just didn't have time to wait 2 hours on hold to speak to Disney about not having an adjoining room. I don't even know if they exist in these buildings, but I personally hate adjoining room doors because I can hear my neighbors louder than when it's just a wall. But on the adjoining room door is a full-length mirror. Let's turn around to the other side. First, I want to mention there is a fan in here, which is amazing. And just so you know, our room at the Gran Destino Tower did not have a fan, probably because it's in a big building. So if you like a fan to sleep at night, then you probably want this room. And honestly, I love a fan at night. I always have a fan on at night because I need one. And actually, my husband had to install one just for me when we moved in together many moons ago, because I needed a fan at night. Next to the bed is the temperature control. Of course, we have our 2 queen size beds. These are queen size. And what I love that they've been doing in all of the refurb rooms is putting the beds on these platforms that you have all of this storage space underneath the bed for your luggage. Each bed has 4 lights. So on the wall, this switch controls those lights up there. So it's technically 3 because that is only 1 switch, but it's, 1 and 2. And then you have these reading lights, and all you do is pull them up, and that's how they turn on, and you put it back, and that's how they turn off. And there's one on both sides. In the center, we have some really cute silhouette photos of the 3 caballeros. We also have our phone and our center console. We have one small drawer up here, and then, ooh, I didn't even know that was in there. That's our safe. Let's make our way into the bathroom. So what's similar but different, it's really funny, is that there are 2 barn doors versus the single barn door over in the Gran Destino Tower. But these are super nice, and they're easy to close. Yeah. And they look kind of similar, if not exact. I'm having trouble remembering, but it's very nice either way. Making our way into the bathroom, and first we have our wardrobe. It's definitely nice and long, but I can see already it's not nearly as big as the wardrobe over in the Gran Destino Tower, not even close. Though you do have a lot of length, but yeah, there's definitely more in the other one. Here you have some extra pillows and blankets on top. On the side here is your ironing board. You have a luggage rack in here, and that is a steamer iron. And then you have like a little cubby underneath. And then of course your hangers, they even have a bag and tag to do laundry if you'd like. But it's definitely way smaller than the other one, but it's way bigger than the value resort wardrobes. I will also say there is a lot of space in the vanity area. Like this is like a lot of space to move around. So now we have our vanity area. We have our light up mirror. We have a really high shelf up there that I could never reach. And we have this cabinet. Is there anything in here? No, but you can put your stuff in there. And also another little shelf. We have some hand towels, tissues, double sinks, which this is exactly like the Gran Destino bathroom. This is the exact same sinks, the same cabinets. This is 100% the same. They gave us some H2O products, so this is something that's a little different though. So they gave the body lotion and the mouthwash and the facial soap. But when we were in the Gran Destino, they also gave a shower cap and the box that had like Q-tips and cotton balls. So you get a little less of the toiletries when you're in these rooms. Then underneath you have some cabinet storage and some towels. And then in this cabinet, these are the exact same size on both sides, but this one has the full size hair dryer by Andis. And then finally there is a magnifying light up mirror, and the light does work. Sometimes they don't work, but this one does. Let's head into the actual bathroom. And I was like confused for a second. How do I get the door? You just push this button and that'll pop out. Look how cool. And then you can pull the door. Nothing on the back of the door. Then in here we have some towels, our toilet, and of course the shower. Now there is no bathtub in here, so if you need a bathtub for any reason, Gran Destino also had a walk-in shower, so maybe this is not the resort for you. But here is the bathroom, the walk-in shower here. So sort of similar, but a little different. So this is a really big glass heavy door. The floor looks a little different. The molding, the inside of the bathroom looks different as well. The other one was definitely a lot nicer and a lot bigger as well. This is definitely noticeably smaller, but it's still like a decent size. And then also here we have our clothesline that you hook on to the other side. Same little built-in shelf there. And then we have our H2O refillable body wash, conditioner, and shampoo. So we have a top shower head, we have a hose. Let's check out the water pressure. That is some good water pressure, my friends. And now it's my favorite part of my room tours, the outlet sitch. We're gonna go around the room and count up all of the outlets because outlets are important. They charge our devices and we need to make sure we have enough for 4 people because that's the max amount of people in here. Plus, I keep getting comments about this, and I'm gonna say this again. I love doing the outlet sitch because people really actually do need to know these things, and this is not something that's very easily known on the internet or it's not on the Coronado's website. And it's also a really good indicator on how well a room has been refurbished, like at least like we saw over in Universal Dockside and Surfside, which was a new building. And go watch it. Just go watch the outlet sitch at least. But it also indicates if a room needs refurbishment, like when we were staying at the Swan and Dolphin resorts. Maybe you should check that out too. Just saying. So that's why I do this for like a few reasons, but it is a really good indicator on how well a room is refurbished or needs refurbished. So let's start counting all of the charging stations. Starting off, we have 2 by the door, 1 extra by the Keurig, 2 regular outlets, 2 USB by the desk. By the dresser, we have 2 regular outlets and 2 USBs. In the center, on both sides, we have 2 regular outlets and 2 USBs. And then in the vanity, we have 2 regular outlets on the right side and 2 regular outlets on the left. So this is very interesting. This room had 15 regular outlets and 8 USB ports, for a total of 23 charging stations. Gran Destino had 12 regular outlets and 4 USBs for a total of 16 charging stations. See, this is why I do this. This is so weird and interesting. So there is way more than in the tower. If you are a person who likes to have a lot of plugs, well, looky here. Now you know which room that you need to go to. Well, this is such a cool thing. I'm really glad that I was able to do both rooms so that we could see the difference, especially with that. So obviously the Casitas, the outside rooms, are definitely getting the Hijinx outlet seal of approval. And that is the room here over at Casitas Building 3. One last thing, of course. Okay, I'm gonna sleep here tonight. So far, it's squishy pillows, pretty firm bed, kind of feels like the same bed I've been sleeping on in all these refurbished rooms, but I will sleep here tonight and I will tell you in a few seconds in the morning how I slept. And it's the morning again. I slept very well. The bed is nice and firm. The pillows are nice and fluffy, and they're all like the same pillow. They're not a bunch of random pillows, which I hate when that happens at hotels. That's definitely the same bed that they've been using in the refurbishment process, so I'm always very happy in those new beds. I did not hear my adjoining room neighbor. However, I did, and there was one I saw because I see mousekeeping in there now. However, I did get into the room at like 11 p.m. last night, but I didn't hear them this morning. They're already gone, so that's a good sign, but I don't think I have good authority of giving you a thumbs up or down about noise level with the adjoining room just because I was here very late last night. But overall, I had a really nice experience in the room. Everything was really comfortable. The shower was really nice. The water pressure was good. There's a lot of space to get ready in the vanity area, at least for one person. Not sure about 4 people, but at least for 1-2 people, maybe 3, it's a nice space. Definitely liked how there was more space, though, in the Gran Destino Tower. But the refurb is gorgeous, and I would definitely come back and stay in these rooms for sure. Well, my dudes, that was an outside building room tour here at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. So here are the differences between this room and Gran Destino. First of all, Gran Destino's room is bigger. It's slightly bigger. Definitely felt like more room. The bathroom was bigger as well. So if you want more room and wardrobe space too, that's going to be the place that you're going to want to go if you want more space. If you want to save in price, you're going to want to do an outside building. They usually cost about like $50 difference. And you can get this resort, it's a moderate resort, for anywhere from like $200 to $300. If you have pass holder discounts, you can get it for in the $150, sometimes $170s. This is before taxes and fees. So honestly, you can usually find a pretty good deal for Coronado Springs. I don't know why it always has like one of the lower ones, because this is one of my favorite resorts, and I think it's just because a lot of people don't like the fact that there's only bus transportation when you're here. But to me, bus transportation is fine. I think it's fine, and this is so beautiful. Other differences between the room, obviously more outlets in this room. Thought that was very interesting. And the other thing, you don't have that much say over what section you'll end up in unless you call ahead and wait on hold and hopefully get that room request. Or if you're checking in, you can go to the front desk and ask for them to switch your section of where you'd like to be. But again, depending on like what you get, you could be so far in the back. Like you can be all the way in the back of Ranchos. And if you're trying to do stuff here in the main building or in the Gran Destino Tower, it's a schlep, it's a walk. Yeah, you are definitely closer to the pool being in the outer buildings. Actually, the Cabanas is the closest to the pool and the Ranchos. But again, it's far in the back, or even if you're in the far back of Casitas, it's kind of a long walk. I did this entire walking, when I did the full tour, I literally walked the entire loop of this resort. It's a lot of walking if you are all the way in the back. But it's really not that bad, especially compared to some other Disney resorts, like when we did Port Orleans Riverside. Oh my goodness, go check out that resort tour. That place is huge, and this place is really huge too, but because of the bridges connecting, it does make it easier. But again, having the control of knowing that you're in a tower is definitely super helpful. Oh, and the other thing to consider is that this room had a ceiling fan, and Gran Destino did not have a ceiling fan. So just saying, like, that could be a deal breaker for some people. I just thought of another difference. If you want to have a small quiet pool, each of the sections, Casitas, Ranchos, and Cabanas, have a small quiet pool within their community if you don't want to go to the big pool. And now if you're staying in the Gran Destino Tower, you can go to one of the small quiet pools too. But obviously you have your own section pool, so you don't have to go to the main pool, and most people staying in Gran Destino are probably going to the main pool. And technically, people staying in Gran Destino have the furthest walk to the pool. But it's not that bad of a walk at all. So I don't want to say like that should make a difference, but if you like having your own quiet pool and it's much closer to where you're staying, then maybe this section is where you'd want to be. I hope you found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, and if you did, please consider joining Patreon. I'm not a big blog company, I'm just a person. I pay for all of my stays to do these resort tours for you. So if you join, you'll get exclusive bonus content, exclusive lives, you get a free dining guide to Walt Disney World by Disney for Foodies, and as long as you stay a patron, you keep getting the updated versions. It's a great perk, and you'll be helping me to continue bringing great content here on this channel. But thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit your bell notifications so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. Follow me on Instagram at Magical Hijinx. Again, check out the Patreon. You'll get all of that, and you'll help the channel so much, and I'll really appreciate it. And until next time, my dudes, I hope you guys get into some hijinks very, very soon. Bye-bye.